Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Hokkaido, Japan. And okay, picture this. Snow on the ground outside, and inside this restaurant, 166 seats. Every single one of them filling up fast.
Yeah, and the kitchen has been running since early morning. Charcoal already lit, rice already cooking, soup stock already going.
This place is called Mikakuen Nishino Store, yakiniku Kitami-style, straight out of Hokkaido. Just finished a full renovation in December 2025, reopened and hit the ground running.
Yeah, 50 kilograms of meat a day, 500 servings before the night is over, and every single cut prepped fresh that morning, no exceptions.
Today, we're going behind the scenes. Every order, every cut, every coal basket. And then the snow hit, 37 centimeters in one day, and they didn't stop, not even close.
So walk me through the morning. What time does everything actually start?
Early, way before the first customer shows up. First thing is the charcoal. We light it before anything else, because if the charcoal isn't ready, nothing else matters.
Right, the whole experience starts at the grill.
Exactly. And while the charcoal is going, the kitchen starts moving too. We get the soup stock on, we infuse it with pot herbs slowly. That aroma has to develop properly. You can't rush it.
Pot herbs in the soup stock? That's not something most people would expect at a yakiniku place.
That's what makes the difference. It's not just about the meat. The sides have to be just as good. So we make the bean sprout namu fresh every morning. We prep the yakiniku sauce. We set up all the tabletop condiments.
All of that before the doors even open?
All of it. Then we set the tables, bring the charcoal in, get everything positioned.
And the rice?
We use Yumepirika. It's a rice variety from Eniwa, right here in Hokkaido. Consistently rated one of the best eating quality rices in Japan. Soft, slightly sweet, great texture.
So even the rice is a Hokkaido thing.
Everything here is Hokkaido where we can make it Hokkaido. What else is happening in the kitchen at this point? The egg soup is going. We boil the eggs separately for topping. King oyster mushrooms get sliced, and we make the kimchi in-house.
Wait, you make your own kimchi?
Yes, we don't buy it pre-made.
Okay, that's a lot happening simultaneously. Soup stock, namo, rice, eggs, mushrooms, kimchi, charcoal, all before 11 a.m.
That's just how mornings work here. If you're not ready before the doors open, you're already behind.
And with 166 seats to fill, being behind is not an option.
Not even a little bit.
So 11 a.m. hits, doors open. What happens?
Customers walk in immediately, like within the first few minutes. We don't get a slow start here.
166 seats, and they start filling right away.
Right away.
Okay, so before we get into the orders, tell me about the setup. What does the lunch menu look like?
We have a full lunch menu, meat options, sides, everything. And the sauces we use in a restaurant, customers can actually buy them to take home.
Oh, that's smart. So they fall in love with the sauce at the table, and then they can just grab a bottle on the way out.
Exactly. And we also have a drink bar, so it's not just about the food.
And I noticed you have a kids' room here.
Yes, families are a big part of who we serve. Having a dedicated space for kids makes a huge difference. Parents can actually relax and enjoy the meal.
That's thoughtful. A yakiniku restaurant where the whole family is comfortable. Okay, so the orders start coming in. What's first?
Kalbi. That's always one of the first orders. Short rib, classic yakiniku cut.
And then?
Bulgogi kalbi comes in right after.
Now, for people who don't know, what's the difference between regular kalbi and bulgogi kalbi?
Kalbi is the short rib cut, marinated in our house sauce. Bulgogi kalbi takes that same cut, but the marinade is different, sweeter, a little more layered in flavor. It's a popular choice for people who want something a bit more familiar.
Got it. And then the bibimbap orders start coming in too.
Stone grilled bibimbap, yes, that's one of our signature side dishes. We top it with namu, the bean sprout dish we prepped in the morning, and then a soft-boiled egg goes right on top.
The egg you boiled during morning prep.
Yes, everything connects back to that morning prep. Nothing is done on the fly.
And sagari starts coming in too at this point.
Sagari, yes, hanging tender. It's a cut from the diaphragm area of the beef. Very tender, good beefy flavor. Different from kalbi, but just as popular.
So within the first hour, you've already got kalbi, bulgogi kalbi, bibimbap, and sagari all going at once.
That's a normal start to us.
Normal. Okay,
Okay, so the kitchen is in full swing now. Orders are coming in. I want to ask you about something I noticed. The meat prep. It's all happening right now during service.
Yes, we only prep for the day. Whatever we need today, we cut today.
So there's no tray of pre-cut meat sitting in the walk-in from yesterday.
Never. Freshness is everything here. If we cut it yesterday, it's not the same product.
That's a strong principle, especially at this volume.
It's actually harder to do it this way, but there's no other way we consider.
So walk me through what that looks like right now.
So, the sagari, the hanging tender, we score the surface before slicing. Why scoring? It helps the heat penetrate evenly when it hits the grill, and it helps the sauce get into the meat. You get a better bite, more flavor in every piece. We call our version tender sagari. It's how we serve it here.
Tender sagari, so the scoring is part of what makes it yours.
Part of it, yes. And then beef tongue comes in. Beef tongue slice. Yes. Tongue is one of those cuts that requires patience. You have to find the right angle, the right thickness. Too thick and it's chewy. Too thin and you lose the texture. And then the wagyu. Tell me about the Tokachi Wagyu Kalbi. Tokachi is a region in Hokkaido. The wagyu from there, the marbling is just beautiful. When you look at a slice, the fat is distributed so evenly throughout the muscle. That's what gives you the melt-in-your-mouth experience on the grill. Japanese Black Wagyu wobbling is honestly something else. Like, it doesn't even look real. It really doesn't. And when it hits the charcoal, the fat renders down and the aroma is incredible. You also have a deluxe platter going out? Yes, the deluxe platter combines Wagyu Premium Kalbi, Wagyu Lean Meat, and beef tongue together. It's for people who want to experience everything in one order.
The full picture on one plate. And there's a Wagyu tail ramen too.
Yes, the tail is slow cooked down into a rich broth, deep flavor, very different from a standard ramen.
Okay, and then cold noodles start coming.
Classic cold noodles. After we cook the noodles, we chill them thoroughly in ice water. That step is important. It stops the cooking immediately and gives the noodles that firm, clean bite. Ice water, not just cold water, ice water. There's a difference. Then we add the toppings and pour the soup over. And the scallion cold noodles are different. That version uses bulgogi sauce as the base instead. We mix it through, add vegetables, and finish with a soft-boiled egg. So two completely different flavor profiles under the same cold noodles category. Exactly. One is more clean and refreshing, the other is richer and more savory. And while all of this is happening, someone is trimming Wagyu Misuji in the back. Yes, the top blade cut. Misuji is a shoulder cut, very well marbled, very flavorful, but it needs careful trimming. Excess fat and connective tissue have to be removed before it's ready to serve. So even a premium cut like that still requires that much handwork? Every cut does. That's just a standard here.
So the Misuji trimming is still going, and there are more cuts coming after that?
Yes, the prep doesn't stop during service. We're always working on the next thing.
Walk me through what comes next then.
So after the Misuji, we're still removing excess fat and sinew from other cuts. That work is constant. It's not glamorous, but it's what makes the difference on the plate.
How much of the actual meat work is just trimming and cleaning?
More than people realize. A big portion of our time back there is just knife work. Removing what shouldn't be there so what remains is perfect.
Okay, and then tontoro comes in.
Tontoro, yes, pork jowl. It's a cut from the cheek and neck area of the pig. Very fatty, very flavorful. When it hits the grill, it gets this slightly crispy outside but stays juicy inside.
Pork jowl doesn't get talked about enough.
It really doesn't. People focus on the Wagyu and they sleep on the tontoro.
Fair point. And then aged premium sagari.
Yes, this is different from the regular sagari. The aging process concentrates the flavor. The moisture reduces slightly, the enzymes break down the muscle fibers, and what you get is a much deeper, more intense beef flavor.
So aged versus fresh sagari, two completely different experiences.
Night and day.
And customers can grill everything themselves at the table?
That's the beauty of yakiniku. You control the grill. Some people like it barely touched, still pink inside. Some people want it fully cooked through. We give you the best product we can. What you do with it at the table is yours.
I love that. The chef does their part and then the customer gets to finish it their way.
Exactly.
Okay, gatsu is next.
Pork stomach, yes. We scored before serving. Same idea as the sagari scoring. It helps the heat get in evenly and improves the texture on the grill. Gatsu has a firm, chewy texture naturally. The scoring softens that experience a little.
And then lamb comes in.
Lamb trimming, yes. Lamb has a stronger flavor profile than beef. Some people love it, some people are still discovering it. But it has a loyal following here.
And hatsu?
Beef heart. Hatsu is one of those cuts that surprises people. They expect it to be tough or gamey, but when it's prepped properly and hits the charcoal, it's lean, it's firm, very clean flavor.
It's one of those cuts where the prep really makes or breaks it, 100%.
And the kalbi still needs fat removal too at this stage. Even a cut people think of as simple still requires that attention.
Okay, so I have to ask about the fresh offal, because this is one of Mikakuen's signatures, right?
Yes, original ice-chilled fresh offal. This is something we're known for across all our locations. Offal has to be incredibly fresh to be good. The moment it's not fresh, the flavor and texture both suffer. So we keep it on ice, literally chilled on ice until the moment it's ordered.
Ice chilled, not just refrigerated.
There's a big difference. Ice keeps the temperature more stable and consistent. It preserves the freshness in a way a standard refrigerator just doesn't.
And then Nishino Store specialty, Japanese Black Wagyu Misuji. This is specific to our location.
Japanese Black Wagyu is the breed. The Misuji cut from that breed with proper aging and trimming is one of the most flavorful cuts we serve. The marbling in Japanese black is exceptional, even by Wagyu standards.
So this is the cut that defines this particular store.
If you come to Nishino, this is what you come for.
So lunch service wraps up at 3 p.m. What does that moment feel like? Honestly, it's not a break. The moment the last lunch customer walks out, we shift into reset mode. What does reset look like? Cleaning the grills, wiping down the tables, restocking everything that got used during lunch, checking what we need for dinner. So the 2-hour window between 3 and 5 is not downtime. Not at all. It flies by. Before you know it, 5 p.m. is right there. And dinner service opens at 5. 5 p.m., doors open, and same as lunch, customers come in immediately. No slow start for dinner either. Never. And this particular evening, something unusual happened. Yeah, shortly after we opened for dinner, the snow started. And not just the light snow, record-breaking snow. It started coming down heavy almost immediately after 5 p.m. How heavy are we talking? By the end of the night, 37 centimeters total. 37 centimeters! That's over a foot of snow in one evening. In Hokkaido, we're used to snow. But 37 centimeters in one service window is a lot even for us. And the orders are still coming in during all of this.
Yes, Wagyu Yogejang soup was one of the first in orders.
Tell me about that.
Yogejang is a Korean-style spicy beef soup. Our version uses Wagyu, so we get that rich, deeply flavored broth with high-quality beef inside. It's warming, it's hearty, it's exactly what you want when it's snowing outside.
That timing could not have been more perfect, honestly. Spicy Wagyu soup while 37 centimeters of snow falls outside.
Yeah, the weather basically advertised that dish for us.
And fresh beef tongue orders are coming in too?
Yes, fresh beef tongue. Again, freshness is the word. Everything we serve carries that same standard. Now, the evening crowd is different from the lunch crowd, noticeably different. Dinner is much more family heavy, lots of parents bringing kids. And you have that kids room, which must be especially useful in the evening. Absolutely. And for the little ones, we do a rice plate with furikake.
Furikake on rice, that's such a classic Japanese comfort food for kids.
Kids love it. Simple, familiar, something they're excited about. While the parents are at the grill, the kids are happy.
Everyone at the table is taken care of.
That's the goal.
And outside, the snow just keeps falling.
It didn't let up. 37 centimeters by the time the night was done. But inside, the charcoal is burning, the grills are going, families are together.
That contrast is something. Snow piling up outside, warmth and yakiniku smoke inside.
That's Hokkaido in winter, honestly. You just keep going.
So the snow is at 37 centimeters and still going. What's happening outside the restaurant at this point?
We had to send staff outside to shovel.
During dinner service?
Yes. The entrance was getting buried, customers couldn't get in safely, so someone goes out with a shovel while the kitchen keeps running inside.
That image is something. One person shoveling snow in the dark, everyone else inside grilling Wagyu.
That's pretty much exactly what it looked like. But that's part of the job. You make sure people can get through the door.
And the orders keep coming in through all of this.
Fresh beef tongue with scallion salt, that's a popular evening order. The scallion salt is light, clean, it lets the natural flavor of the tongue come through without heavy sauce.
So instead of a rich marinade, you're just letting the quality of the meat speak.
Exactly. When the product is that fresh, you don't need to cover it up.
And then, ocellated octopus.
Yes, we boil it to order. Ocellated octopus is smaller than the giant Pacific octopus most people know. The texture is more tender, the flavor sweeter, more delicate. It's a nice contrast to all the grilled meat.
Something from the sea in the middle of a yakiniku dinner.
It works surprisingly well. People appreciate having that option.
And 3 cold noodles coming at once?
3 orders, yes. Late in the evening, cold noodles are still moving.
People ordering cold noodles while it's snowing outside.
I know, but once you taste them, you understand why.
And then the aged thick-cut beef tongue with scallion salt. That's different from the fresh beef tongue earlier.
Very different. The fresh tongue is lighter, more delicate. The aged thick-cut version is more intense. The aging deepens the flavor significantly. And the thick cut gives you a completely different texture experience on the grill. More substantial, more chew, more beef flavor in every bite.
So 2 versions of the same cut, but both with scallion salt, but completely different experiences.
That's the point. We want people to understand what aging actually does to a piece of meat.
Okay, so as the evening winds down, what's still coming out of the kitchen?
Stone grilled garlic rice.
Tell me about that one.
We'll use the stone bowl, same as the bibimbap. The rice goes in, garlic goes in, and it cooks against the hot stone. You get this crispy layer on the bottom, almost like a crust. The garlic infuses through the whole thing. It's rich, savory, the kind of thing you keep eating even when you're full.
The crispy bottom rice situation, that's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And stone-grilled kimchi bibimbap is going out too.
Yes, the kimchi we made in-house that morning goes into the stone bowl. Mixed with rice, vegetables, everything cooks together against the hot surface. The kimchi gets slightly caramelized from the heat. It adds this tangy, smoky depth that you just can't get from a regular bowl.
So the kimchi you made at 7 a.m. ends up in a stone bowl at 9 p.m.
Full circle.
Last order time is 9:30. What does that feel like after a day like this?
Honestly, it feels right. The day was long, the snow made everything harder, but last order means we made it through.
And then you see off the last customer.
We walked them out, every single one. That's something we always do.
Even in 37 centimeters of snow.
Especially then, you make sure they get out safely. You thank them for coming out in that weather.
And then closing.
We remove the grill grates, return the charcoal, wipe everything down. Same routine every night. No shortcuts just because it was a hard day.
Same standard at the end as at the beginning.
Always.
All right, so that was one full day at Mikakuen Nishino Store. And I have to say, I came in thinking this was just a really good yakiniku restaurant. I'm leaving thinking it's something else entirely. And what struck me most is that none of it slows you down. 500 servings, 166 seats, lunch and dinner, and then 37 centimeters of snow on top of all that.
The snow was something, but you just keep going. The customers came out in that weather to be here. The least we can do is make sure everything is perfect when they sit down.
That's the thing, right? Someone drove through a snowstorm to eat your Wagyu Misuji. You owe them your best.
Every time. Doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday afternoon with 10 people or a full house night with a snow record. Same charcoal, same trimming, same fresh cuts, same standard, always. If there's one thing I want people to take away from today, it's this. Volume and quality are not opposites. This kitchen proves that every single day. 50 kilograms of meat, 500 servings, and not one shortcut in sight. That's what Mikakuen is. That's what this store is. If you've never had Kitami-style yakiniku, and especially if you've never been to Hokkaido, I hope today gave you a real sense of what's waiting for you there. And if this is the kind of content you love, hit that subscribe button. We have a lot more coming. More kitchens, more stories, more people who pour everything into what they do. We'll see you in the next one.